Hi, I'm sure you're wondering why I'm having a Father's Day sale before Mother's Day. That's a legitimate question. Why in the world am I doing that? I've already had a couple Mother's Day sales, but really today it's to talk about special gifts that are great for a guy. Doesn't have to be a father, birthday gift, significant other, anything like that. But really it's all about custom orders and how to place them. And that's why I'm having this event today. I have my trunk sale every the last Saturday of every month. So this is my trunk sale, but this one is a little bit because I'm really talking about the custom orders. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jan, and I'm the creator behind everything at Log Cabin Leather by Jan. My website is logcabinleatherbyjan.com. And again, I'm here in the basement of my log cabin home where I make all my handmade leather products. So tonight I'm going to go through a number of products I have that you can custom order, um, special for the person that you want them for, and how to go about doing that. And, some special deals I'm going to offer if you order before midnight Sunday. So again, if you're watching this today, even if you watch it on a replay, as long as you inquire about something before midnight Sunday, you can get the deals that I'm going to talk about in here. Item I'm going to talk about are handmade leather belts. What makes my belts different and really, in my opinion, a lot better than what you find in other places? Well, number one, my belts are one solid piece of leather. Piece here. My pieces are all one solid piece of leather. I cut them from the hide myself, so you can see if I'm not sure how the edge of that shows. Show better against something white. The edge of the belt here. Now that's the raw cut edge. Now at a lot of craft shows, and again, I don't get to look around at craft shows a lot because I usually man my booth by myself. But if I do, I look around. I look at other leather crafters a lot, and they come and look at me as well. And we compare things. Well, what I notice a lot of them, the edges of the belts are raw like this. Now, again, they may have coloring on them and stuff, but they're raw cut, sharp edges. Um, and my belts are not. But they are, again, they're one solid thick piece of leather, 9-10 ounce leather, which is almost a quarter-inch thick, rugged. They're meant to last. But yet they can be dress belts too. Depending on the width, inch and a quarter, an inch, standard dress belts for men, I would say. I'm going to talk about the colors I have. I'm going to talk about how you custom fit. I'm going to talk about buckles and other things that make the belts better. So let me continue with that, I guess, because I was talking about the edges. So now what I do with my edges to make them different is I round them off. This is called beveling, and it's done on the top side around all the edges, and then it's done on the back side around all the edges. But once that's done, and again, I'm not sure how well this camera will show this, the edges along here are still kind of rough. No, on this one's beveled, the lighter one. They're still rough on the edges, so you need to smooth that down because those fibers are going to catch on your clothes and they're going to rub and they're going to cause fragments and things to come off, so you don't want that. So you want to smooth them down. So once they're rounded off, something is applied to them. Then they're burnished. Now this is my travel burner, sure. Um, Something is applied, rubbed on the edges. Then one of these, I have a larger one. Now again, in my workshop here, I only have 4 electric tools. My Dremel, or not my Dremel, the burnisher, I should say, is one of them. I have a much bigger wooden piece like this that's on actually a drill press, and so it hangs, and then I can just take the belt, and what you do is you rub the edges of this, and once you put this certain liquid on called tragacanth, it's going to smooth off those edges, so you don't have those more, and you do that on the back and the front, and it's going to smooth all those fibers. That's another step that I do that takes time, that makes the belts a little bit better. Um, Another tool that I use, it is also an electric tool for the belts, is something called a Skyver. And actually, before I get to the Skyver, let me finish. Now, once the belt is, again, beveled, the edges are smoothed off, The other just smoothed off. No, so now the edges have been smoothed. But now they still need to be dyed because this edge is lighter than the rest of the leather. So now you need to dye that. So that's the next step. All the edges are dyed. So you get dark color on the edges. Again, another step that takes time. So that's put on all the edges. Again, I think you can probably see the difference in these two. This one you see the lighter color on the edges is not done, as opposed to the other one you don't see that. The next thing is where the buckle's going to go. Now, if a lot of craft shows, I notice, when a person goes to size a belt, they'll have the holes at one end. So then when a person needs a belt shortened, they'll do it at the buckle end. Well, the issue with that is the bulk. And the reason when I size a belt for me, mine all have buckles on them when you buy them, which are removable. So you do get your choice there. But I don't, if I'm going to adjust the belt, it's not going to be this end. And the reason is, if I just take this piece of leather, again, piece of belt leather, and I fold it for the belt, see how bulky it is right there? If that's on a belt, that's going to make the belt and the buckle stick out significantly from your waist. And if you bend over, especially if you have a little bit of extra excess there, it's going to dig into you. Not comfortable. So this is what I do. I have a machine called a Skyver, which is a second electric machine I have in my basement. And what it does is it thins out the leather. So what it does is it takes, and it's going to... See how I have this little thin piece of leather? That it would be trimmed off, but I left it on here so you could see it. I skive off a little piece of leather, making the belt a little thinner. This is where the loop is going to go, where the buckle piece is going to go through. To make it a little thinner there. So now when you fold it over, it's not going to be as bulky as it would be to begin with. And so you do that, so see, like, that's significantly less bulky than it would have been without that. So you do that to all the belts. So that's another step for all the belts. And then you add the buckles. So now for buckles, you have your choice there. So these are all choices you get to make when you order a belt. Now, if you're not sure what to order somebody, because it's for your husband, your boyfriend, significant other, whatever, and you don't know what you want to order, you can get a gift card. You can, you can put an order in and not finalize exactly what you want, because you can email me or message me here on Facebook. That works too. I think you have to friend me or you have to follow the page to be able to message me. But if you do that, you can leave me a message. I'm interested in this. I saw your video, your trunk sale video. And again, what I'm going to offer for the discount to you, you can get too. If you join my email, you get 20% off your first order. So do that. That gets you 20% off right there. And then I have a couple other things that I'm offering here. So now, again, I'm going to talk about buckles. So you have your choice of buckles. Horseshoe. Oval. And rectangle are the three shape buckles I have. Now I have all of these buckles in all widths, and I have belts in all widths for people of all sizes. I have belts as narrow as a ½ an inch, which generally would not be for guys, which is why I'm not really talking about them now, to up to 2 inches really, 1 3/4 being the standard. So I have these buckles to fit all the different widths belts. These three shapes in brass, they're all solid brass, or if you want a silver finish, they're nickel over brass. I have a couple rectangle buckles and a few other finishes like a gunmetal finish and stuff, but it's only available in the rectangle, and again, I don't always have those in stock. So that's what you have for a choice of buckles. Again, the buckle screws on. So if you have a fancy buckle, that can also go on the belt, because we're just going to take that screw off. You're going to put this on, and away you go. Now, snaps are okay, but again, the problem with the snap, especially if you have a fancy buckle, it does not always fit under here. I've had a lot of people come to me with a belt, and it doesn't fit through here because it's too narrow, especially if it's like a sterling silver buckle. A lot of times it has a piece that's, it's metal. It's not a movable piece like this, and You could not fit a snap underneath it. So that's another solution my my belt solved, because that belt screw goes in after it's put through the belt, so there isn't the bulk there, so it will fit. Let's see here. What else do I want to say about the belts? So now the next thing, let me talk about colors. I have 5 or 6 colors here. I have your standard black. And again, I'm showing different widths here too, so that's a 1-inch black. But again, I cut them myself. You can have any of these widths in any of these colors. So I'm just showing colors now, really. Black. Next one, dark brown. And again, you may need to look at my website to see the colors better, because I realize it's hard to see colors. And I can't hold all these things at once to show colors in comparison. That's a very dark brown. That's a bridal leather, so it's kind of a little softer. I have a chestnut. So actually this is black. This is called Havana. This is called chestnut, which is a reddish tone, dark reddish, almost mahogany, burgundy. Mahogany, I would say, almost, because it's a deep red. This is a russet color, so that's a little bit reddish, but not as deep as that one. That's called russet. And then I have a chocolate. Now the chocolate is one of the leather that I'm not too thrilled about. Again, trying to show different colors. It has kind of a crackled finish a little bit. See how it's kind of... The rest of it have a nice smooth finish. But this one has, see, kind of that crackly finish. So that's the chocolate, has a crackly finish. It's the only one that has that kind of finish. And then I have a medium brown and a light brown. So again, really the best way to see all the colors is to check out my website, because then you're going to get a better, you're going to see them better close up and better pictures of where the colors show. So you have your choice of colors. So now the next thing, if you're going to want a custom fit belt, which of course if you're ordering, they're all custom fit, because you need to tell me what size you want it. And again, if you're not sure, say I want a belt, I'm not sure the size yet, I'm going to work with you. Again, if you do that this weekend, then you still will get, a special deal. So now as far as sizing, if the person has a special buckle and you want that buckle to go on it, the new belt, the belt you're buying from me, then you do want to measure from the knob here to the hole the person wears it on. Now this is an old belt. Now as far as quality and lasting too, this is a belt that made my father probably 1977, 78. It's one of my original belts. It had kind of a tool design in it, not a very good one, because I didn't really know what I was doing then. I'm self-taught. But the fact that the belt is still holding up, the edges don't look actually that bad. It's, it's lasted over 40 years. So now for this kind of belt, you're going to measure from that spot to the hole he wears it, the person wears it on. And again, I'm just going to say this is the hole. This belt, again, was my father. The holes would not normally go this close to the end, but as he got older, he lost weight. He lived to be 92. So I custom fitted. I kept changing it to fit him. So I had shortened it several times. It's just why the holes are too close to the end. So if this was the center hole, that is going to be the middle hole on the new belt. Now when I'm measuring the new belt, it's going to be more like this. This would be the hole you told me. It's going to have 2 holes, in, 2 inches smaller, 2 inches larger, so that when you buckle it, again, I'm going to put the camera down. When you buckle it, the belt, even if it's on the smallest hole, it's going to still go through generally the loop right there. These are center bar buckles, so you don't need that other leather loop in there. That just makes more bulk, because see the belt when it's fastened is going to go under there and then through that belt loop. And see, so it's fairly flat because of the skiving and so forth. So comfortable. If you have this kind of belt buckle, or a single bar buckle, you want to measure anything but a fancy buckle, a special, this kind of buckle. You want to measure from the leather, again, to the hole they wear it on, and that's going to be the middle hole on the new belt. It's about 6 inches to the end from there, so there is enough for that to go through those loops. If you want the belt different, I will do it different. I know some women have only wanted one hole, maybe 2 holes in a belt. That's fine. You know, my husband likes his belt real short. He does not want his belt to go through that loop. He wants it shorter than that. That doesn't give him much room to grow. Which now he has grown and he needs a new belt. But that's, you know, how that goes. So, belts, again, if you order a solid color belt tonight, I will throw in, you get $5 off, plus you either get free shipping or a free belt fob. Now, these are what's called belt fobs. And what it is, it's going to hook to your, attaches around the belt. So if this is the color of your belt, you're going to get this to match your belt. So if that's the, you know, it's going to match the belt. So if it's an 1.25 inch belt, this is going to be an 1.25 inch. If it's a 1.75 inch belt, it's probably not going to be 1.75 inch wide. But again, a lot of times I make them to match the belt. It snaps onto your belt, and then you can hook your keys onto it or whatever. Or you get free shipping. So $5 off, free shipping, or a free key fob. So see, that's the kind of stuff you would message me. I saw your video. I'm interested in a belt. I think I know the size. What's my free deal that I get? What do I have a choice of? Things like that, and I will tell you. You know, and going to communicate with you back and forth, either messaging you, sending you pictures at times if you need them, things like that. So to make sure you're getting what you're asking for, things like that. So now there's also the hand-tooled belts, and I'm not really going to go in through those too much because I didn't really bring, you know, too many of those out because they're all pretty much one of a kind. But belts that have the hand-tooled designs on it, also a custom fit, same thing, same buckles, all that information applies. Now the plain belts for men run in the $40 range, I think. So again, an inch belt is $35, and the wide is 1.75 inch belt is $48. So you're 35, 43, 45, 48 for the inch up to 1.75 inch belts. So this is an 1.5 inch belt now, but because it's tooled, that's going to jump the price up for this to be $90. And again, you have to look at my website, logcabinleatherbyjan.com, to really look at the selection, because it's too hard to show them. And they're all one of a kind, so they don't, you know, I don't know. A lot of them I know. I have a whole bunch here that I'm ready for coloring. So check those out on my website. Again, logcabinleatherbyjan.com, and you can, if you're interested in one, message me, email me, and we'll get you hooked up. With the tooled belts, however, you get free shipping and the free belt fob. So that's with a tooled belt, with a belt with a design on it. You get both of those items free because it's a more expensive item. Now I have another kind of belt I'm going to tell you about, which is called the mechanic's belt. Now this is something which I call a mechanic's belt. It's great for a musician though, too, because it prevents a buckle rash. If you're a musician, you'll know what buckle rash is. If you know a musician and you say, do you have buckle rash? They'll most likely know what you're talking about. Let me see, I have too many things on my table here. All right, here. I can't find the belt now. All right, so a mechanic's belt is a belt that doesn't take a regular buckle. It is a belt that does not have any kind of buckle that shows on the front. It has a hook on the inside of it. Again, it has a hook on the inside of it here that fastens on the inside. So on this kind of belt, again, can be custom fit. The advantage of this kind of belt, again, you can't remove the buckle. You can't put your own fancy buckles on. If you're a mechanic, You're not, or you have an antique car. Your husband have an antique car? Your dad? This is perfect because when they lean on the car, they're not going to scratch it. You know, if they're polishing it and things like that, you're leaning on it, you have a belt on, you forget about it, it's going to scratch. So this will solve that problem. I mean, if they wear sweats or something, then, you know, it's not an issue. But um, great for something like that. Great for a musician because, again, the buckle rubbing against the back of your guitar, your bass, you know, your instrument causes it to scratch. Well, if you have this kind of buckle, there's nothing to scratch the instrument. There's no metal sharp edges to scratch. So how it works is not a whole lot different than a regular belt, except instead of having this feed through on the outside, it feeds through on the inside. And then the holes will be fit to fit your waist. It hooks into a hole. You do not feel that on the inside. It is perfect, again, for people who have Dunlap disease a little bit. If you have a little bit of a belly there and that buckle digs into your waist, especially when you bend over or you're sitting, this is a great solution for that. So now again, these run just about $5 more than the regular belts, you know, with the buckles. So again, and these only come an inch and a quarter, inch and a half, inch and 3/4. I can't make it in an inch because to put, there's a metal piece in here and it's too wide for me to sew it. So again, $48, $50, and $55 depending on the width. Custom fit to the size you need. Perfect for somebody who doesn't like that buckle digging into their waist. Will last a long time. Get the perfectly fitting belt. And again, you can tell me half sizes, quarter sizes, things like that. I will do the best to get it exactly what you want. And again, I do have a few of those in tool designs. Same thing, but again, you'll have to look. I'm not even sure if I have those listed on the website like that. So if you're interested in a tooled mechanic's belt, basically look at what I have. You know, if it's an inch and a half one you're interested in, look at my inch and a half belts and I can make it in a mechanic's belt. Again, this is for a custom order, so I can make what you want. So that's the best way. Look at the belts online, decide what you want, whatever style you want, I can make it. I'm going to go over a couple other things that are gift ideas, and that's going to wrap it up after this. So, next here we have, again, I mentioned the belt fobs. So these can be bought separately. I do have a couple different styles. The one you would get as a gift would have the ring at the end. And these range in price from $11 to $14. The more expensive ones have the hook at the end. So you could just have the key ring itself and then unhook it there. They all snap on. So, and they come in all the colors that the belts come in. Occasionally I have some tooled ones. Mostly the plain, you know, all the different colors I had for the belts. So you can order those, or again, one of those is free. That or free shipping with any plain belt, regular belt or mechanic's belt, with the tooled mechanic's belt or the tooled regular belt. You also get free shipping and the free belt fob if you order before midnight Sunday, or inquire about ordering and ask, you know, and things like that. All right. So those are belt fobs. Again, they range in price from $11 to $14, depending. The $11 ones just have the ring. The $14 ones have a hook, and I do have varying styles of hooks and things. All right, so that's belt fobs. Next things I'm going to talk about is knife sheaths. Now again, these are more the hunting guys here. I live in New Hampshire. We have a lot of hunters, so if you're from another part of the country, maybe that's not a priority. A knife sheath. Now, these are custom. Again, I'm talking about custom orders because I can make it to fit the knife you need. So again, here I have quite a few different sizes and so forth, and I haven't, you know, pulled out too many. So you trace the knife and things like that for me. But again, what makes these very nice is, so now this is a different style. That was for, it just loops on the belt, and the knife fit in there tight enough that it would, you know, it's hanging. You can also have the style where this wraps around the knife and holds it into the case. You can have them left or right-handed. So these are both right-handed. This happens to be a left-handed. We'll go on, hang this way. So the knife blade is facing back. So when you pick it up, you know, you'd be holding it the right way. Unless you're crossing it, you know. That's up to you how you decide to hold. But again, it goes through, belt loop goes through here. Belt loop goes through there. Now, what all of these have in it, which makes them, you know, what you need, is there is another strip of leather all along this edge in here, so that when the knife is in it, again, the knife, see, for this case is only really that wide, because along in here there's an extra strip of leather so that the knife blade itself cannot touch the stitching. The stitching is halfway in between that piece of leather, so the stitching is over in here, so that knife blade, you know, can't slice through the stitching, because that's the issue for a lot of knife cases, that the knife, you know, if you keep sliding, obviously it's cut through the stitching because it's so sharp, and then it ruins the knife case. So there's an extra piece in there. Again, you size the knife, you trace around the knife, you know, you're going to have to email that to me, or really you have to mail it to me, or so. I mean, I have to get a copy of it, the accurate size. So you have to get me a copy that I can print out that's going to give me the accurate size, so that I can get the dimensions of it right. Depending on how fat the knife is, I need to know how fat it is around and things like that. These are in price. Obviously, they're going to be custom made, so $60 to $85 depending on the size of the knife, and so forth. And again, I don't even think I really have those on my website or anything. So again, if you see this video, I saw knife sheaths. I'm interested in having a custom one made. As far as designs on it, you can have the tool, you know, plain. You can have, like this has oak leaves, so just a border design. This has deer and moose and things like that on it, or wolves and elk, I guess, is on that one. You can have initials put on it, things like that. If you know, and that's the same for the belts and stuff too. If you want their initials or anything on it, that can be done too. So knife sheaths, and the other hunting thing I have is the rifle slings. And again, this kind of goes along with my guitar straps, which is the other thing I'm going to mention. Don't necessarily have to be for a guy, because of course a woman can play guitar too, and you might want a nice strap. Just like these have all this padding between them. How a rifle sling works is if you're walking through the woods carrying your rifle, it's heavy, you have it slung over your back. This goes over your front like this to prevent it from digging into you, and to prevent it from digging into you here, because that's what's going to happen as you're walking. So this would strap onto the rifle like that and keep your shoulder padded and keep it padded through here so it doesn't rub on you. It has a half an inch of foam padding sandwiched between the front and the lining. I do have a few different styles. These generally have the suede lining because that grips it onto your coat a little bit better so it doesn't slide around. But if you wanted a leather lining, you can have that too. So again, different widths, different styles. These were $130, now they're $99. Again, if you're interested in rifle sling, then ask me. I can email you pictures of what I have. If you say, I want this size, but I'd like it this color, you can do that. This is really all about custom orders. So again, blogcabinleatherbyjan.com, or email me, message me, comment, whatever, if you see this video either live on Facebook or on YouTube. I'm trying to broadcast on both. I'm not sure if that's even working. I've been having some glitches with volume on Facebook, and it seems to work better on YouTube. So I was trying to do it on both at the same time, and I don't even know if that works. So that's where I'm at today, because the technical stuff is not my strong suit. Let's see. So the rifle things, and then the last thing again, I have guitar straps. Beautiful tooled guitar straps. Wrap you in comfort. Strap one on, and you feel the difference. This allows a player to play for long periods of time without suffering from the back, neck, and shoulder pain. Because again, it's going to prevent it from rubbing on your neck. It's going to pad your entire back, not just the shoulder. The entire strap is padded. And I have those in widths from inch and a half all the way up to 4 inch. So regardless of what type of instrument you play, if you have people have asked about a mandolin. Yes, I can make a mandolin strap. That's a little bit narrower. I'm not sure if you need the padding on that. You know, you can tell me things like that. I know it attaches differently. So that's something I can do. You know, I'm going to ask you for dimensions on this. Like if you order a guitar strap, how long is the strap they use now? Is that how they like to hold it, or is that why they're replacing it because it's too short, too long? I'm going to try to get that strap so it adjusts the way you want it to. I mean, they all adjust at one end, but I'm going to make sure this strap is within the length range that you want it to, so you can get it where you want it. So that's all pretty much I have to say today. This was all about custom orders. If you want to get the best deals and discounts, join my email. On Facebook, I'm having trouble with the link at the top of the page to join that, but you can message me and I can send you the link to the email. I will try to post it on Facebook after the video, or I can put it on YouTube. YouTube, it is on there in the description, so you can find it there. And then if you join, you get an automatic 20% discount, but a lot of times you get free shipping. People that were on my email list got a preview of this sale already, so they had a little bit more time to think about it and things like that. Again, prices tonight go through midnight, and deals through midnight Sunday. And again, rifle slings, I was offering $30 off of those. Everything that is discounted. Not all these things were on my website, but again, either $5 off a belt, plus the free shipping, and so forth. So you might want to think about doing that. And I think that's going to wrap it up for now. Once again, this is Jan Hibbard, Log Cabin Leather by Jan. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye.